Philippine ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez, recently confirmed that Manila and Washington are engaged in ongoing discussions about expanding the presence of American missile systems on Philippine soil. Speaking to Arkansas Online, Romualdez emphasized that the talks are still preliminary, with no final decision taken. Nonetheless, the very fact that the issue is under review underscores the growing urgency both nations attach to their defense partnership in light of increasing Chinese assertiveness across Asia. The potential expansion of U.S. missile deployments would not come out of nowhere. It follows a series of steps over the past 2 years that have already brought advanced American strike capabilities into the Philippines, part of a broader strategy to reinforce deterrence and safeguard access to key maritime routes. In 2024, as part of large-scale military exercises, the U.S. Army introduced the Typhon mid-range missile system to Philippine territory for the first time. The Typhon launcher is a versatile land-based platform designed to fire 2 distinct weapons: the Standard Missile-6, SM-6, which can intercept airborne or naval threats, and a Tomahawk Land Attack Missile, TLAM, known for its long-range precision strike capability against land targets. Its arrival in northern Luzon was significant not only from a technical perspective, but also geopolitically. Positioned close to the Luzon Strait, Typhon extends the reach of Allied strike capabilities and strengthens Washington's deterrence posture in areas that directly affect both the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. By April 2025, the U.S. had delivered an additional system, an anti-ship missile launcher, to Baton's, the Philippines' northernmost island chain situated only a short distance from Taiwan. The move was widely interpreted as part of an anti-access strategy designed to restrict China's freedom of movement in contested waters and signal Manila's readiness to play a frontline role in regional security. China responded sharply to these deployments. Officials in Beijing accused Washington of undermining regional stability and criticized Manila for aligning too closely with U.S. military interests. Calls from Beijing for the removal of these missile systems were swiftly rejected by Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who has consistently underlined his government's commitment to deepening defense ties with the United States. For Manila, the calculus is straightforward. China's expansive claims in the South China Sea directly conflict with Philippine sovereignty, as well as the livelihoods of local fishermen and the security of vital sea lanes. Faced with near-daily confrontations with Chinese vessels, the Philippines views closer cooperation with the United States as both a practical necessity and a political statement of resolve. Current discussions are centered on the potential deployment of additional NMESIS, Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, batteries. NMESIS is a highly mobile launcher designed to fire naval strike missiles, NSM, weapons specifically engineered to neutralize surface ships. Strategically positioned along the Philippine coastline, these systems could significantly raise the risks for any hostile navy operating in or near the South China Sea. Alongside strike assets, the alliance has also begun incorporating defensive layers. During recent joint exercises in Zambales, the U.S. demonstrated the Marine Air Defense Integrated System, MADIS. This mobile platform is tailored to counter unmanned aerial systems, low-altitude aircraft, and other short-range aerial threats. In practice, MADIS complements longer-range strike systems like Typhon by protecting them from harassment or disabling attacks, creating a more resilient and integrated defense network. Taken together, Typhon, NMESIS, and MADIS represent a multi-layered approach to deterrence. While strike systems extend reach and impose costs on potential aggressors, defensive assets shield Philippine and U.S. forces from asymmetric threats that China has increasingly employed in recent years. Romualdez has stressed repeatedly that this growing defense cooperation does not exist in a vacuum. On the sidelines of these security conversations, he and Philippine Foreign Secretary Teresa Lazaro recently participated in a high-profile investment forum in Manila. There, U.S. companies were encouraged to invest in Philippine industries ranging from energy and telecommunications to shipbuilding and infrastructure. The message was clear: A stronger Philippine economy enhances Manila's credibility as a reliable defense partner and ensures that security cooperation is backed by sustainable domestic development. This dual-track approach, military modernization combined with economic growth, reflects President Marcos Jr.'s broader vision of positioning the Philippines as both a frontline security ally and an attractive hub for American business interests in Asia. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth reinforced this message during his March visit to Manila, part of his first Asian tour. Hegseth was blunt. Washington is not seeking confrontation, but insists that lasting peace in the Indo-Pacific cannot be preserved without strength. Echoing the Trump administration's emphasis on deterrence, he described American commitments to allies like the Philippines as central to preventing escalation rather than provoking it. U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson struck a similar tone, particularly in relation to recent maritime incidents. She underscored that freedom of navigation in the South China Sea is not simply a regional concern, but a global one, since some of the world's busiest shipping routes pass through these contested waters. Ensuring that these routes remain open, she argued, is essential to international commerce and regional stability alike. The backdrop to these policy discussions is an increasingly volatile situation at sea. The South China Sea is one of the world's most contested maritime zones, with overlapping territorial claims from China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. Confrontations between Chinese and Philippine vessels have become common. Just this week, a collision occurred near Scarborough Shoal when a Chinese naval vessel and a Coast Guard ship sought to drive off a Philippine patrol boat. In response, the United States dispatched 2 warships for a brief freedom of navigation maneuver, further inflaming tensions but also reinforcing Washington's commitment to Manila. Such incidents illustrate the stakes. For Beijing, asserting control over the South China Sea is both a matter of national pride and strategic necessity. For Manila, resisting such encroachment is inseparable from defending sovereignty and securing vital economic resources. And for Washington, failure to contest China's claims would undermine U.S. credibility across the Indo-Pacific. While the formal decision on deploying additional U.S. missile systems to the Philippines has yet to be made, the trajectory of events is unmistakable. Manila and Washington are deepening their security partnership in ways not seen in decades, and advanced missile deployments are at the heart of this effort. For the Philippines, this partnership provides both a military shield and an economic lifeline. For the United States, it strengthens a network of alliances designed to counterbalance China's rise. And for Beijing, it presents an increasingly formidable barrier to its ambitions in the South China Sea and beyond. Whether new missile launchers are ultimately approved or not, the mere prospect signals a new era in Philippine-American relations. The alliance is no longer focused solely on symbolic cooperation, but on tangible, layered deterrence, combining strike systems, defensive technologies, and economic integration. In the high-stakes environment of the South China Sea, such measures may prove decisive in preserving both regional stability and global maritime security.